Today at church, first of all, our pastor is hilarious, and you know, if you were there, you heard him talk about Smurfs, and that's all I'm going to say. And it was very funny. And we always love church because it's so serious and the Holy Spirit is present, but our pastor makes us laugh every single week. But two things that stood out to me was stay pliable so he can shape and move us, and delayed obedience is disobedience. And I just told Sophie last night, like we just had a conversation, and I said, Sophie, you just don't realize how many other people are attached to your obedience. So when you're acting in obedience and you're hearing from God and you're staying connected to the Holy Spirit, there are so many people's lives that are attached to that. They benefit from your connection to God. And so we have to stay pliable so that he can shape us and move us. And when he's shaping us and moving us and telling us to move and telling us to change and telling us to speak to certain people, we have to be obedient to that call.
Some of the things that stood out to me is that pride comes before destruction, and it also hinders us from being in God's plan. Because if we only worry about ourselves and what we're doing, we can't worry about the other people that God needs us to help. And also that whoever claims to live in God must live like God. And so if you claim to, oh, I'm a Christian, but then you're going to go do secular stuff with your secular friends, then you're being lukewarm, because Jesus wouldn't go do that. He always was with his Father wherever he went.
That's good.
So, you know, as Sophie just said about like what you'll do in the Spirit, what you would do around Jesus, I was talking yesterday in my men's group about the armor of God, and we just went over the first two pieces, which is the belt of truth and the breastplate of righteousness. And I was telling them that truth without righteousness is just knowledge, but righteousness without truth is just legalism. Together, those two produce spiritual power, though. And so when you think about that, the Bible is the truth, and that's the foundation you should stand on. The righteousness is taught to you from within the Bible, and it's something that God grants you so that you can be the type of first person that can follow that truth and do what you're called to do, whatever your call and purpose in your life is. But truly, that's to be Jesus-like. So I guess for me, what I took away today is, in combination with that, you really want to pay attention to what you're called to do in your life and act like you're called to do it. You know, don't practice integrity. Don't be one way out in front of people thinking you're showing someone what you're doing, and then behind closed doors be doing something completely different.
God bless you.